Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
This was our Patreon exclusive, talking about the fall of the archons and the global consciousness revolution has begun. But there's so many psyops as well, and there's so many misdirections. It is a tangled web. Got to get that pineal gland working, guys.
It's all about our discernment to here on out.
Yeah, and discernment that's going to go beyond thinking logically. So logical thinking is fine when it's based on true facts. But what are the true facts in this world?
It's been pretty rough lately.
Yeah, the last several thousand years, in fact, perhaps longer. This person says, my local coffee shop in Roseburg, Oregon is now accepting Bitcoin. And this Ryan Finley had the honor of being the first customer to pay Bitcoin this morning. So if you're an I-5 in Oregon, stop at My Coffee in Roseburg, and you could pay with Bitcoin. Exciting for some people. Others, who cares, right? We're all in a different place when it comes to our view of finances. And when you look to the crypto world, what do we see? Bitcoin's at 93,500. That's a huge fall from where it had peaked at. Again, over 120. But at the same time, it's a long ways from where it started at. So when you look at it for the year, it's up 3.2%. The volatility that you see in the crypto market definitely can make a lot of people nauseous. And in fact, when we look at the crypto market, on the whole, hasn't been a good month. No, not at all. It has not been a smooth ride. And I don't think anything financially is going to be too smooth. And this is not any sort of financial recommendation as well. I do feel that we have changed timelines. I think that we've changed timelines. Maybe we've changed timelines an infinite number of times. Again, each one of us is having our own unique experience here. Then we have this info. Newly released Gilligan's Island emails. I'm going to just go with that.
Yeah.
Show he funded Bitcoin core development. Isn't that curious? What could this possibly do to the Bitcoin, supporters and people that have investment? This tweet says that Jeffrey Gilligan was paying salaries for the core developers of Bitcoin. Are we about to witness the greatest rug pull of all time? Well, it's interesting. Again, Christoph Jakowski, the Polish psychic, was focusing in on Germany and Europe more in a recent live that he did. I think it was really from yesterday. And he was seeing that there is some sort of rug pull that's going to be done, at least over there. But he has said repeatedly in other videos when he's done other remote viewings or using his psychic talents and abilities, that yes, they are going to be pulling the rug out more than one time. And primarily, again, in the Western countries, the European Union and the U.S. And in fact, he was seeing Germany issuing 2 different currencies. And yet, it's a shell game. It's like a shell game. How do you guess right? Well, most financial advisors will tell you to diversify, to limit your exposure to just one thing that can go wrong. Just want to point all this out. As you see here, some of the top news. Unsealed emails reveal Epstein's $850,000 funding of MIT's Bitcoin core development. Newly released emails from that estate, part of a 20,000-page trove by the House Oversight Committee, showed $850,000 in donations to MIT. Again, government is it's organized crime. That's just simply the truth. It's organized crime. So if you're holding Bitcoin, Are you holding something that's going to fold like the cheapest suit you can imagine? And if, you're looking to maybe not go that route, then what do you do? Well, I mean, right now, gold is at $4,087 an ounce, per troy ounce. That's a massive number. I mean, for the longest time, we were sitting at about a quarter of that. So that has gone way, way up. It's stayed up. And how about silver? $51.15 per troy ounce. So, is that still the safest way to go? I think ideally you should try to have, and this is just my point of view, until you have something paid off, you don't own it. And again, mortgages, now they're putting out their 50-year mortgages. That's literally going to be unto death. And it's a sad situation where you never own what you think you own or try to own. And in most cases, owning is better than renting for tax reasons and other reasons. You have the value of the property tends to go up. But when you look at it compared to inflation, does it really go up? What do you guys think? And at the same time, what are the options? Because we know that there's a certain group that has said you will own nothing and you'll be happy. But no, they'll be happy if we own nothing because they want to own everything. It's a difference in perspective is what we really need to do. We need to view things outside the box. But when you've been brought up in a box, how do you ever come up with the concepts and ideas, the inspiration to think outside of that box? Truly, there's only one way that I know of, and that's to channel. It basically channel information from a higher density, from your higher self. And this is a term that many people are very familiar with, and then others still have probably never even heard of that term. Where did Tesla's inspiration come from? It was channeling. How about musical geniuses? They were channeling too. And really, truly, we may just simply be channeling from ourselves from a higher dimension. So again, this is another reason to develop a regular daily spiritual practice, stick to it, build your discernment, and at the same time, try to cover all the bases as best as you can. And again, we are not financial advisors. We are the farthest thing from financial advisors.
Well, I think too, when channeling, you're bringing information down from a higher density that you might not even understand yourself. So there's that. There's a lot of things, bases that need to be covered in this world, and we don't always know exactly what those bases are, but we have to keep trying. We have to keep developing our instincts, developing our intuition, our discernment. That's how we're going to get through this and do things that you feel good with, that you feel solid about. Sometimes you might not feel solid about things, and you leave yourself open and you allow the universe to bring you another option, because that is a thing. You don't set your heart on this and don't set your heart on that and just tell the universe, hey, I need a different option here. Neither of these are working for me. And as long as you're neutral, truly in neutral, you will get the other option. And it's about developing that ability and getting really good at it, rewiring your brain and your nervous system to bring those things into you that are truly for your highest good.
Yeah, as Cindy was saying, develop that intuition, because when you get down to it, your gut instinct is, what is it really? I do think that ultimately it's inspiration that's coming from a higher vantage point, a higher viewpoint, which is beyond where we could see when we're embodied. So it's tapping into the unknowable in a sense from a different perspective, but it's still, whether we want to credit it to any sort of higher beings, ultimately it's really us getting better contact with us from a different vantage point, from the vantage point of being not on the chessboard, but outside of all the chess pieces, looking down at the playing field. So at the same time, we realize Right now, this is a huge shell game. And, what the house wants to do is to wipe out everybody sitting at the table. That's what the house is intending to do. So how are they going to do that? And how can you avoid that?
Keep in mind that we are all little receivers and we are receiving information. So all the information out there is coming to you through some type of magnetic energy field that you have created for yourself. Now, trauma can cover signals. It can block signals that you might really, really need in order to make the right decisions for yourself. So also get with people that care about you. Get with people that love you and weigh all the information. Go with people that you trust. Use your intuition. Use several different modalities. And when you find the right answer that feels rock solid, go with that.
Absolutely. Again, they're going to be creating a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of hype. And they do this all the time, so we must not succumb to that. We have to rise above it, rise above the turbulent air and the storms, and look from a higher perspective. Again, act from a point of compassion and love, and you can't go wrong there. You really can't, because you're pulling from higher energies and you're developing good karma. That is the true currency of this reality.
Indeed.
As always, guys, we invite you to join us on Patreon, Source Bless, and Namaste.
Namaste.